Well, thank you for being here this evening. It's now 5 p.m. and we're calling the City Council special meeting to order on December the 2nd at 5 p.m. And the first thing we'll do is have the Pledge of Allegiance. Will you please stand with me and say the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, welcome, Councilmember Moore. Have you been sworn in?
I think I have. Thank you, Heather, for that.
All right, thank you very much. So the first item on the agenda is the Arts Commission. Let's see, we have Karen Brigado here this evening. Karen, just come to the podium and tell us a little bit about yourself and why you want to be reappointed. Thank you.
Good afternoon, or good evening, sorry. Hello, President Kochmar, City Council. Hello, Martin Moore, you're brand new, yay, coming back to it. I'm Karen Brigado, and I am running for reappointment for the Arts Commission. Thank you for listening to me today. I realize I should have been interviewing in October. We were on a cruise ship at that time, so I am so sorry to not be here then. A little bit about me. I'm from the Portland area, keep Portland weird. After receiving a BS in business from OSU, of course, I married into the Navy, and we had about 8 years of our life with the Navy. My husband was a naval aviator. He resigned his commission, so we moved up here in 1992 and worked for Alaska Airlines. Since then, of course, we've raised 3 boys here. And of course, I'm a member of PTA. I joined the Chorale, the Fedway Chorale, the Coalition for the Performing Arts, where I went through Advancing Leadership. I was a mentor in communities and schools for about 10 years and part of Kiwanis. And all of that added up to me running for the Arts Commission and being appointed in 2018. 7 of us were appointed at that time. And of course, I was a naive arts commissioner. I thought I could affect change, especially being the treasurer of the Fedway Chorale, maybe get some more money into play. But of course, the first opportunity to make a change came up during the admissions tax. I'm not sure if you're aware what the admissions tax is. It was retroactively applied to all of the arts groups, the performing arts groups. That's 5% of all tickets to events. They had no money for it, yet they paid because it was a retroactive. I felt it important enough, since these were groups supported by the Arts Commission through the grants that we gave, that we should support them. I have to give a shout out to staff. They showed me the correct way to go about changing ordinance. And thanks to you, the ordinance was changed within that year to exempt 501c3s from being applicable for the tax. So thank you for that. Yay. Let me see, turn the page. The Arts Commission, of course, has many programs. The Arts Alive contest is once a year at the PAC. That's where you will see Angelica Juarez, who is a new arts commissioner. The gallery program is, of course, throughout the year at the PAC and Knutson Family Theater. That's where you'll see Tina Ostrander. If you ever go to Center Stage Pantomime, you will see her big eyes that are there. The Arts in the Courts, it's City Hall. Even though Judge Larson is leaving, Judge Daniel Havens will take over the reins. The traffic graphics is always big. Our newest one is at the Goddard School, that's really close to City Hall. We have a new one through a partnership with the Historical Society, that's at 356th Impact Highway. We plan to put a Brooklake box there, and maybe have another illustration next to it. And of course, we have our Arts Explosion. That has been a full-time job for me. Originally, it was proposed by Iveta Felsenberg, and I have her original thing that she sent out for all of the arts commissioners to have. It says 2019, obviously, we were never going to be putting it on in 2019 because we didn't have the funds. And of course, the next year, we had COVID. COVID, of course, brought ARPA funds. And so I applied as many times as I could for ARPA funds, and we were given, thank you, $15,000 of ARPA funds to put on the Arts Explosion. It took a lot of vision by the subcommittee and by me. We partnered with Arts Foundation the first year. We partnered with Kiwanis the second year, both with MOUs, and we took off. We had marketing for events. We went through call for entry. We had sponsorships, grants. The third year, this year, it was taken over by the city, and the city did a great job with all of those grants and sponsorships. I will have to say, though, the first couple years it was fun. We did so much marketing. We did musical acts, judges. We had art walls. We did everything for that. We transcribed the Arts Explosion signs into all different languages. We had a listing of people that we would interview, including Jane Sue with Radio Hankook. We tried to get everyone involved. Jurassic Ink Tattoo was one of the sponsors for a while. We always envisioned some Hulk walking around showing his tattoos, but I guess that was not going to happen. But we have so many opportunities for that, and I see that growing in the future. As far as Federal Way goes, the Arts Commission goes, we should be looked at as being we should be looked at for our opinion on art. We have people with degrees in art, PhD in music, bachelor's in general arts. We have Aveta Felsenberg, who's an artist. She's degreed. She's also the past director of culture for the Latvian Embassy in Washington, D.C. We have the capacity, and we can do this. I see great things for the future, and I would like to be reappointed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Karen. Council, do we have any questions for Karen? Councilmember Honda.
Thank you. So when I was on the Arts Commission, I'm not sure how to put this politically correct. There were arts commissioners who came to meetings, and there are arts commissioners who did the work.
Yes.
And from watching you over the years, I know you're one of the commissioners that put in the hours and the work, and I want to thank you for that.
Thank you.
Because we can't just have staff put in the hours, because that's not how these things operate. They need, if a commission is going to do something, we need the commissioners to put in as many hours as they can. I realize not everyone has the ability to do that, but for those that do, I appreciate it. And I know that people put in as many hours as they can into whatever commission that they work with. So,
You are correct. Thank you. Yes.
Councilmember Dovey.
Yeah, could you just kind of go over with me how you work with the other people on the committee? What's your approach? I mean, you've been successful, you've done a lot of things on this committee, a lot of progress. I mean, what's your approach to working with the other members, and how do you corral it and make it work?
When anybody has a new idea, it's always entertained. Several new ideas have come up, and always I'm right there to entertain new ideas. Some of them don't come up with any. They go with the flow, and that's okay too. I guess I'm always there. I'm always open. I'm always available through email or to meet anyone who wants to. I have to tell you, I am not going to be the chair next year. Tom Bristol is going to be the chair. Cindy Dusich will be the vice chair. And I welcome them. We need a new set of eyes on the Arts Commission. I'm pretty sure that this is going to be a great year next year.
Thank you.
Councilmember Stefadosin.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you, Karen, for your service. And I was going to ask the same question, but I'll also include working with staff and the council. And so how do you do that? And then another question also would be, On the commission, you've been on the commission for a while. If we needed to make any changes, what would that be, or what would that look like?
I've been on the commission now for about 8 years. There are some changes that are needed, some that I have actually implemented this year. I've never been on a board before that has not had its financial standing at all. We're given just a sheet at the beginning of the year that shows, 6 or 8 budgeted items, but I want to know every month how we sit financially, how budget versus actual. I have to give a shout out to Amy Gladden. We used her budget, actually, for the senior commission to show every year. As far as working with staff, I think it was our November retreat in 2023 that we were told by staff that they are administrative only, and that if we were going to be putting on something special like Arts Explosion, we have to do it ourselves. So we did. And it was a great success from everyone that was there. And I remember Mr. Walsh came once, and he said, boy, you're more diverse than the Diversity Commission, which is kind of interesting. We try to work with staff. It's a learning experience for everyone. Everyone's going to make mistakes. I have made huge mistakes there. Staff has made mistakes, and we all try to deal with it all together.
Thank you. And what would you change about the commission, or the Arts Commission as a whole?
What would I change? I've been slowly trying to make changes, like the budget. We now have our meetings audio taped, which is interesting because we were told we couldn't. Now we always have them audio taped. What I would like to see is, of course, an unlimited budget. Oh my God, what I would change. I would have scholarships for people, artists themselves, who maybe want to put a mural up on the side of a building, maybe want to paint the street. I would have artists retreat at Dumas Bay. It's so bucolic there. We must have an artists workshop there. Pay an artist to be there for a week, room and board. All they would have to do is give like one painting. So when our sister city, Hachinohe, comes, we can give them something of value rather than, a coffee mug from Starbucks. Interesting things that are available and we can do when we have the funds.
Thank you. Councilmember Walsh.
Karen, I definitely recognize that you're very, very hardworking, very committed to the Arts Commission. My question is what can you do to improve relationships with staff?
I'm always available. I always am. I reach out to them whenever I can. They want to have things done while we have the gavel down rather than speak outside, so I'm not sure what I can do individually, but I am always there and willing to talk with them. We look at staff to help us along the way, to guide us. When I had the admissions tax, staff was really good about telling me I need to present it to FedRec and it needs to be presented in this way. I hope we have the staff that can do that to us now and help us out now.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Councilmember Tran.
Thank you. Karen, first of all, thank you for your service on the commission. You know me well. I am very, very straightforward.
Yep.
And most of the time, I'm not politically correct. So I know that some of my peers up here was alluded to the fact that there were some conflicts between you and staff. Can you share with us how is that about? How did that happen, or how you correct those issues?
One of the conflicts, I guess I'd love to share with you all of the conflicts. I don't really think this is being in a public forum, we could talk about
Okay.
them here. But I would like to speak with each and every one of you about the conflicts we have had with staff. I really don't want to get into he said, she said,
Fair enough.
but yeah.
Thank you.
And Counselor, are there any other questions? In the interest of time, we'll keep it short because we have so many other people that are going to be interviewing. One of the things, though, Karen, is, and we all recognize the hard work that you have done, absolutely, no question about that. And that you have a very strong personality, God bless you, we all appreciate that. But what I would just want to remind you is that you're in an advisory role, so whoever is on the council, whether you agree with them or not, your position is advisory. And so, I mean, if you have a great idea, you have to come to the council to say, what do you think? And staff will be your person to help work that through with you. A lot of it's going to be, next year is going to be a problem because we're going to have a budget problem. And we're not the only city. All cities across the state are going to have a budget problem next year. And so how we can do more with less is going to be a big issue. And you've had wonderful ideas, absolutely wonderful ideas, like Arts Explosion was a wonderful idea. So how we can move forward, working all together. There's 9 people on the Arts Commission with 2 alternates. And so do you find that cumbersome, or do you think that that's the right number of people to have? Or
No, the more the merrier.
because of the
Yes.
work that you have?
Right.
Planning.
And I did see that I might not have people agreeing with me this year. I stepped down from being the chair.
Oh.
Tom is the chair.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to meet with Tom and Vicki on, Tom and Cindy
Cindy.
on Friday.
And they will take over. And they're in a situation where they really can take off. I see great things happening for the Arts Commission next year.
Okay, so, and I can tell you that your arts commissioners were very supportive of you.
Good.
Because I talked to a number of them. So my role is to be kind of the go-between from the council to staff and the Arts Commission. And so what I want to recognize is the fact that you've worked so very hard and that you're very committed, and that, we recognize that. We really appreciate that. And so how we can move forward, working with staff, and maybe temper it down a little bit so that we all are saying, gee, Karen, let's think about that a little bit more. So I'm not talking about what we're going to do or not do. We'll talk about this at the end of the meeting. But I'm just giving you some
Right.
helpful, I hope,
Yeah.
advice. And we love you. That's not the question at all.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I do hope that the city council will be fair
Yeah,
and listen to my side as well.
thank you.
That's all I ask.
Okay, appreciate that. All right, so thank you, Karen. Hang around if you want. Come on back later. We'll be making the appointment at the regular meeting, and at the end of this meeting, we'll discuss. We can't make any motion, or we can't take action, but we can discuss, and then we will take action at the council meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Karen. All right, so we're moving forward here. We have a schedule we have to adhere to. So the next person is, we're going to talk to Harold Booker on the Human Services Commission. So Harold, can you come and give us a short description of who you are and why you want to be on the Human Services Commission?
Good evening, Council President and members of the council. My name is Harold Booker. I'm a resident of South King County my entire life. Been a resident of Federal Way for 60-plus years. I am employed at the Boeing Company. I've been there more than 42 years. Lived in Federal Way most of my life, grew up, went all through public schools here. Why am I interested in the Human Services Committee? I have been a member of the Therapeutic Health Services Board of Directors for over 20 years, but involved with Therapeutic Health Services since 1975 when they were first commissioned. They are a nonprofit organization which looks to support the lowest of the low in our communities and support the need. I also spent 2 summers in college and another year working for the King County Housing Authority and working in the projects as a recreation director and a adult counselor in trying to help the folks who lived in the projects, both get back into the system, be able to work with education, get back into some positive feedback and positive contributions to the community. I am interested in understanding how the city that I call home helps those and works with those who have a challenging road ahead of them, and how we can support them and assist them in their journey toward becoming a contributing member of our society. I don't know what else you,
That's fine, thank you very
Okay.
much, Harold, thank you. Well, we'll now ask council if we have any questions of Harold. I see Dovey, Councilmember Dovey has his light on.
Yeah, I have 2 questions.
sure.
How did you come up with your email, later48@hotmail.com?
Honestly,
Yeah,
when I was 17, my mother passed away suddenly. And later was the last thing that I said to her because I was heading off to work. And so with her, with my inheritance, I bought a personalized plate and drove around for 20 years with my personalized plate of later. And so when I first got an email account, it was in memory of my mom.
okay, thank you. And my second question is, you've got a long time service at Boeing as a manager. What do you manage?
I'm an information technology manager. I started as a developer or programmer. I wrote software for the defense side of the company. For 25 years, I moved into management 27 years ago, and I have managed teams of 60 to 18 or 19. We create software to, in this case, at the moment, I manage a team that creates software that helps us bring the parts together to the side of the airplane so that when our mechanics get ready to build, they're supposed to do a job at all of the parts, all of the tools, all of the hazmat, all of the protective gear is sitting right there at the bottom of the stairs so they can come down, pick up, to set away the things that they were using on the previous job, and go right back up the stairs. Their job is to be on the airplane at any time I haven't gotten everything there for them. They're wandering the factory to get the things they need, which means they're not building an airplane.
Thank you very much.
Councilmember Stefa Dawson.
Yeah. Thank you so much for applying, and I work at King County Housing Authority, so I appreciate your experience there. And my question is, the Human Services Commission does a lot of reviewing applications, grant applications, and all that, and I know you put down that you're not available during the daytime. And these applications or grants are very time-intensive when they happen. And then, of course, there's a time that you do have a break. And so, one, are you available and able to commit to that time frame, whenever that may be, to do it, you know, the review justice and really bring your expertise for working as someone who worked at nonprofits. But, and also, yeah, so I think that's my question, actually. So do you
Okay.
have the time and the
have-
capacity?
I have the flexibility in my schedule generally to be able to, as long as I can pre-plan, work around and be available at different times during the day. Yes, I work 8 to 4, but I work remotely often, so I can adjust my schedule to work later in the evening for a 2-hour meeting in the middle of the day. Yeah, I think potentially, I believe so.
No, thank you so much, because it's important, and I would love to see you there and bring what your expertise with nonprofits, but also considering that it could be tedious at times.
Yes. Reviewing grants is a challenge.
Councilmember Honda?
So I was going to ask the same question because this commission is a very hardworking commission, takes a lot of time, and just wanting to make sure that you understand the time commitment, and I'm sure are willing to put in the time. So thank you for applying. I know that you have experience that would be helpful to the commission and helpful in reviewing some of the applications that they get. So thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Councilmember Walsh?
Yeah, I would like to, not just for you, but for the other people who are applying for the Human Services Commission, reiterate what both Councilmember Assefa Dawson and Councilmember Honda said. From my own experience, having served on the Human Services Commission, it is a lot of work, a lot of work, especially every other year. One year it's not quite as, I mean, every year's a lot of work, but when there's
There are heavier years than-
when you get a application packet with about 80 grants, and it's in a book about so high, anyway. So I'm sure that you recognize that, but want the others to recognize that as well, that it's not a sit back and attend a meeting, 2-hour meeting once a month type thing. But Harold, with you, I would like to first thank you for always smiling. and we need more smiles in the world, and you are a great poster child, and at our age, I'm sure that anybody can call you a child is appreciated. So anyway, you're a great poster child for having a sign, having a smile, and also frequently when you come up and address the council, there's some people that come up to address for public comment, and we go, oh boy, what are they going to say now? But with you, you can come up and I say, hey, what are you going to say now? But thank you.
Excellent, and I will say that while I had a license plate that said later, my kid brother's license plate was smiling. I am not the smiler in the family.
But anyway, thank you, Harold.
Okay, Councilmember Tran?
Thank you. Harold, I have a question, not related to the commission.
Okay.
But since you work with Boeing for so long, and some of us up here fly, over 100,000 miles a year, so I'm going to pick your brand on this one. I'm not going to ask you to compare between Boeing and Airbus. That's another story. But between the 777 and the Dreamliner 787, which one would you recommend?
That is an interesting question. The reason I wasn't here in October was I took a trip, my first trip since my wife passed, to Hawaii. And I took a 777-9 to Hawaii and an 87 home. So I can give you some from being on the birds. I actually liked, I've worked on and designed, and part of my team, we build the interiors. So all of the things that you see, the carpets, the doorways, the seats, all of that, the interiors, the things we stuff the airplane with, the stow bins. Part of my team helps the software that does that. And I have to say, I really enjoyed the 87's interior, in particular, as I watched the crew. I got to watch the crew actually use it. And it was more efficient than I knew it was. I knew we tried to design it more efficiently, but it was more efficient than I thought it was. So I'd pick the 8.7.
Okay. Thank you.
He's going to do a lot more traveling.
I do.
Okay. Councilmember Moore.
Thank you so much. Harold, I wanted to talk to you about French fries. No, I'm kidding.
But
Hey.
I used to make French fries at A&W quite a lot, so I have some experience at that.
A man of stories, I can tell. Hey, I actually just wanted to echo my colleague's sentiments, and I think that was Councilmember Jack Walsh. I've known you for a period of time now in the community as two citizens, and I feel that it is necessary to say that you really are a person of positive, you're just a positive individual. And I think it's really important because we live in a period of time where it's kind of hard and difficult. And to be around people that are positive, I think those are the people that are good candidates to be ambassadors, so to speak, such as in this capacity. So I just wanted to echo that and say I've seen that, and I appreciate that sincerely. So, and thank you for continuing to be engaged and involved in our community.
Well, thank you very much, Harold. As I've said before, we'll talk about this at the end of the meeting and then make the appointments at the council meeting that follows at 6:30.
Thank you
very
for your
much.
time.
Yeah. Okay, Trinice, I hope I'm saying that right, Wilson.
Council President, she did confirm, however, I did not have her check in, so I don't think she's here.
All right, well, we'll hold it, and if she comes, we'll pull her up a little bit later. Nathan North?
Hello, good evening, council. I'll try to keep it brief. I know time is an issue. Just to introduce myself, my name is Nathan North. I was born here in Washington at a naval air base. Moved around a lot because my dad was in the Navy. Settled back here when he retired, and I found a house here in Federal Way 8 years ago because my wife and I were looking, and it's where we could afford to settle. So. A little bit about my work experience. I've spent the last, 15 years at a company called Penny Arcade, working in logistics operations, basically helping the e-commerce side of that business. Worked my way up from somebody who was hired as a holiday helper, and they couldn't get rid of me, so I worked my way up to managing that department. At our peak, I managed 20 people, but we've shrunk a little bit after losing some business partnerships. So these days, we have a team of 5, and I help with the operations side of that, keep the store running, keep the lights on, that kind of stuff. Operations is a little bit of a mixed bag in that basically anything that comes up, somebody's got to solve it, and it usually falls on my plate. So that's a quick little bit about me. The reason I'm interested in helping the Human Services Commission is because it seems like it's the city commission that has some of the most important work. Recently, I think you all know this, I ran for city council, and I still am looking for a way to help the city in some manner or another. I would say I was disappointed when I started watching city council meetings and I saw that the day center was unfunded for a while. I know that there were reasons for this, but that would be the sort of thing that I would try to find an alternate solution for. So that's kind of a little bit of my motivation is trying to find a way to, help people who are in need. Nobody has ever been punished out of poverty and had a successful story come from that. So I would like to find a way to help, and that's kind of why I'm here tonight.
Thank you, Nathan.
Yeah.
Council members, Councilmember Honda.
Thank you. So Nathan, I've watched you grow over the last several months, and you're doing fabulous speaking. And I just want to let you know, because I know that that's something that we talked about months ago, so. But you're doing great. thanks for applying and for staying interested. That doesn't always happen after campaigns, that people just disappear. And I'm glad that you're not one of those people. And I wish you much success. So thank you for your interest.
Thank you.
Councilmember Dawson.
Thank you. Thank you for applying, actually. And like Susan said, I started noticing you here, and I'm glad you're still here. And so I wanted to ask, I know you said you're available during the daytime, but I just wanted to ask you the same question about availability and your capacity to do the work.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, that was my question. Thank you.
In terms of availability, I also can be rather flexible in terms of my schedule as long as I know things are coming up in advance. I don't know. Obviously, there's that warning about how much time it is. I don't know what that time commitment is, but I am happy to jump into it and help as much as I can. A big time commitment is it's a little bit vague, so it's hard for me to say I would be able to do 20 hours a week or whatever. But yes, I'm happy to jump in and find out and do as much as I can.
I think most of it is really on your own time, reviewing applications, coming up with your own scoring or whatever it takes, but a lot of it is your own personal time outside of work. And then during those times also, they do have additional meetings possibly, just to make sure that people are on the same page and reviewing and all. So there's a lot, but
Yeah.
again, it's just a chunk of time that you'll have that massive work, and then it's back to normal, so,
I'm absolutely happy to jump into that.
thank you. Thanks.
Councilmember Dovey.
Yeah, my one question when asked about time, you've answered it well, but on the Human Services Commission, you do a lot of groups come forward asking for money. What's your philosophy on groups that we've been funding a long time versus new ones that come forward? How would you differentiate between what's a valid place to allocate dollars?
I would like to spend time thinking about kind of what we saw in return for those dollars we invested with the groups that, we worked with the first time. I don't have any knowledge of that right now, so it would be hard for me to say, but obviously new ideas also have their own value. So it would be a matter of, to me, kind of trying to figure out how much we got in return from those groups that we worked with, and then looking at those new ideas and seeing if we feel like they have enough merit to be worth moving dollars over for, or trying to find new dollars, which I know is tough. It's a tough conversation right now.
Thank you.
Did you have anything? Thank you. Councilmember Moore.
Nathan? Thank you. You ran for city council, and as I like to say publicly, you're one of my favorite challengers. And I have a lot of respect for you. I really do, Nathan. I think you're a humble human being. I think you're down to earth. And I see a servant type of heart in you. I am, Susan is spot on. When people run and they lose, they go into hiding mode. And you're stepping up to continue to serve, because that's a desire of yours. And I am absolutely grateful that you're stepping up and you're not backing down. You're here to stay, and you're here to serve, and I look forward to working with you. I'm very hopeful to see you in this capacity. So, thank you, Nathan.
Thank you.
All right. Well, as we said before, we'll talk about the applicants at the end of this meeting. And we can't appoint at the end of this meeting, we'll just talk about it. And then we'll make appointments at the council meeting that follows at 6:30.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nathan. All right, now we're moving on to Lodging Tax Advisory Committee. Kristen Wells.
Good evening. Thank you so much for inviting me here tonight. I'm Kristen Wells, and all of your faces I've seen over the last 7 years. that I've been working for the Courtyard by Marriott in Federal Way. I work for Marriott Hotels International, and I have been on the Lodging Tax Advisory Committee for 7 years, give and take the COVID part. So I love it because of the fact that I get to really help this city grow. As I live in Tacoma, but don't hold that against me. But I have worked in my application years ago to be on this committee. I wrote in that, and I say it to this day, that Federal Way in somehow or in some way has always connected with me. I worked for 6 years for Carlson Wagonly Travel over here at West Side Center. We managed the Weyerhaeuser account. That was when I was back in my 30s, so a few years ago. I have continued to be drawn to work in Federal Way. And, you know, it's funny because being involved with the chamber and also the city, we always talk about bringing people to the city and working in the city instead of having them drive out of the city to Seattle. And that's exactly what I do. So what a better reason for me to be involved in this and help develop tourism for this city. My whole career has been in travel and tourism, so I know a few things about that. I've worked for Air New Zealand, so I've participated a lot with understanding different cultures, different reasons people travel, different reasons people come on vacation, and different reasons people come here for business. So my experiences for this committee is really bringing together all of that in ways to think outside the box and really promote this city to tourism, but not just the leisure traveler, but the corporate traveler as well. So thank you for bringing me here tonight and letting me show my passion for Federal Way.
Thank you very much, Kristen. Council, any questions? Councilmember Stephen Dawson, I wonder why you're first. She's chair of
She's
that
just
committee.
grinning all the time. I love that.
Thank you. No, just wanted to say thank you for your hard work, and what I appreciate the most about you is the questions you ask and the ideas that you bring and new, fresh thoughts that you always bring to the table. So I just wanted to say thank you.
Oh, thank you.
For your input, because you've been really key, I think, to LTAC thus far. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. So
Thank you. I'm
And I love
definitely
working with
not shy. And both my parents passed away a few years ago, and my dad would always say, "Stop, you're asking too many questions," as he was getting sicker and sicker. But I need to know. I ask questions, and I'm not afraid to ask tough questions to find out the answers so that we have the big picture on things. So thank you, Lydia.
Councilmember Tran.
Thank you. Christine, I just want to say thank you for applying, and I just want to compliment you for working for Marriott.
Oh,
Marriott
thank you.
is one of the most favorite brand hotel that we've been with.
Thank you.
In fact, we held almost a top tier of Marriott because Marriott has the most inspiring hotel location in the world.
Right.
So,
Well, I have business cards with me in case, you know.
good brand. Thank you.
He should get a free night for that.
No.
He's pulling a lot this year,
Hey,
all over.
I have business cards.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you very much for applying. As we said, we'll appoint at the 6:30 meeting, but
Okay.
thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you all. Have a good night.
You bet. So Carmelo Lopez.
Council President, unfortunately, he could not make it due to an emergency.
Oh, so have we, is Carmelo, is a new applicant, but we've never interviewed him?
That's correct. He'd be replacing Travis Ochoa from, I believe, the Hilton.
Okay. Councilmember Stephen Dawson, you certainly know, we usually need to interview before we appoint anybody. What do you want to say about Carmelo?
Where's Meredith? I would say, if you don't mind, I mean, read his application, and I wouldn't mind appointing, because he's, you know how we have the three recipients and then three taxpayers? And so he would still be replacing someone who's already in that, who was in that position, representing Hilton.
Okay,
And so waiting would take would be another,
okay.
until January, and we
Yeah.
do have an important meeting coming up in December, so
I was wondering. Okay,
I would
thank you.
love to have it. And Meredith, if you have any input, anything you want to add?
Could I ask a question? Lydia, can you not hold your next meeting if you don't have this position filled? Or could you hold it?
It's like a retreat that we're planning to do, so, and we have applications to review also.
Yes.
So it'd be great for that person to be at this retreat and strategic planning that we're looking to do.
And so we've invited him to the meeting. Yeah, it would be preferable if he could actually be appointed. We can still have the meeting. I'm not sure, we'll have to check with the clerk's office about actually taking action, because that seat is vacant right now. That was the Hilton Hotel seat. I can tell you that in talking to Carmelo, he recently came here from Pierce County. He was part of the TPA board, the Tourism Promotion Authority for Pierce County. He's very excited about being part of LTAC here, has a lot of background in that, and a lot of knowledge both in lodging tax and tourism promotion, so.
Could he go to the retreat and yet then we interview him later? Because I would hate to not interview someone and put them on a commission, since that's not our practice.
Yeah, he can absolutely attend the commission meeting next week.
Thank you.
Any other council members? Do you have any other?
Can I clarify something real quick? They cannot have an official meeting unless we have even numbers. So they cannot take action and really can't call it a meeting. So
Oh, so we have
it is imperative
we have a special problem.
that it be balanced because of the LTAC
Okay.
composition.
All right. Councilmember,
Good.
I think Gilby was
Oh,
first and then I'll.
okay.
So let me understand, right now the seat is held by Travis from the Hilton, is that correct?
Yeah, so Travis Ochoa, and he recently left the
He
Hilton.
left,
And then Carmelo is his
and this is the
replacement.
new person?
Correct.
Okay. I mean, I usually don't say this, but since it's already from Hilton and it's the next Hilton person, I don't have a problem just making that transition without interviewing them.
Councilmember Walsh.
Would there be a possibility, I mean, this is for a term to expire, I don't know, when's it supposed to expire?
It's already expired.
Oh, okay, but that if he was being appointed, it would be expiring, what, in 2 years or?
2027, 10/31,
2027.
2027.
Could we amend this so that for a term to expire January 31st of 2026, and then interview him next month and appoint him for the rest of the term?
Council can appoint to any amount of time that they want. So 26 is, so put him for a full year is what you're saying?
Well, no, what I'm saying is put him in for a couple of months, and then have him come back to interview.
Sure.
And then,
I like that idea.
yeah. So we'll be able to get him on immediately, but it won't be for the full length of time until we've interviewed him.
You got that. Okay.
Okay.
I was going to ask, what does the January calendar look like for council meetings? We might want to extend it through February,
February,
maybe
yeah,
sometime.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
to give us a little bit more time
Yeah.
to get the council meeting schedule around the holidays right
Yeah,
after.
absolutely, absolutely.
So it sounds like the interviews will be not possible till probably end of February. So if you want
March,
to
yeah.
have them on there throughout without a break, we probably need to appoint.
Through the end of March then, if it
Yeah.
needs be, yeah.
Councilmember Honda, did you?
Yeah, we have an application for Chris Jordan in our packet for the lodging tax advisory.
He wasn't
No, he-
able to make this evening.
So then would there be two positions that aren't filled?
Yeah, but Chris has been interviewed before.
Chris Jordan is currently on the
He's currently
commission.
on the commission.
And so this is a reappointment, and he is King County Aquatic Center.
And he's already interviewed.
I see, but our policy is to interview and then appoint, so.
Right, I believe that he was scheduled for the next meeting, whichever, since he was unable to make this one. He was originally scheduled, they were all originally scheduled to be interviewed in November for the special, when the special session was
Right.
removed. And so I think Chris Jordan was unable to make it for this one.
But we interviewed him on February 18th, 2025.
Yeah. So
Well-
it's less than a year ago then.
Heather, can you kind of track that, and we can have a temporary appointment if necessary?
We could bring them both back for an interview in February, March, whatever we
Yeah.
decided,
Say,
just to follow our policy. Because I don't
Yeah.
think it's a good thing to break from our policy for one commission.
yeah.
Can I,
Go ahead.
I also think that this is a different setup and a different type of a committee. It's mandated to have it the way we have it, and it's different from other commissions where it's individuals coming in to apply and we appoint them. In this case, we have to match up the two sides, and so I feel like we can treat it a little bit differently, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I understand what we're saying, and I understand our policy, but I think we can invite them to come and speak to who they are and why they're on this committee, but otherwise, I believe it's already mandated to have it the way we have it set up. So we can, I think, treat it a little bit differently.
I'd say with both of them, just appoint them through the end of March and then have them come in February, March, whatever, and interview and then appoint them for the full term. And that way they're be
But I
be
think
able to fully
Councilmember-
functional.
Councilmember Sevadasan is saying she doesn't see that being necessary, that she thinks that since this is a different type of committee.
They're still representing us as a council, and I'd like to meet them.
Okay?
I'm saying we can still meet.
Yeah, in March.
Appointing
Right.
makes sense.
Okay. Councilmember Moore, do you have any comment?
So
No?
Linda,
Yeah.
if I could jump in there, it seems to me that these are commercial positions. I've served as a chair that Lydia's runs, and they have to be appointed from the hotels, or then the aquatic center's been on there since we ever had this committee, and it's not going to really, I mean, they move corporately, so even if you like them, they may be gone in 90 days because they get promoted or something happens. I mean, for continuity, I think this is one you just, and this is not what I would normally say, but I think you appoint them for their term, so Lydia's commission and the LTAC can do their job, and, because they've already, one's been on it already, and the other one comes from Hilton, and it would sure make your jobs a lot easier, not having to interview them again in February or March. So I'd recommend following Lydia's lead and just putting them back on and not feeling you have to interview them personally.
Councilmember Moore?
I would tend to support that idea.
Yeah.
Let's just
Okay,
simplify it. I don't
Yeah.
think we need to complicate it, Council President.
And Tran? Jack's idea?
Yeah, I'm fine either way.
Oh, Okay. It sounds like we're going forward with,
But we can still invite them to come and say a few
Yeah.
words.
yeah, I think that would be a
So we
good
can meet
idea. Yeah. All right, could you track that, Heather? So bring them in February, so we can meet them and, or whenever we're going to have commission interviews or whatever, just to, how do you do? Yeah. All right, well, let's go back to the beginning here. Or do you want to stay on this commission, and are y'all okay with having Chris Jordan, position 2, Kristen Wells, position 3, and Carmelo Lopez in position 5? Is that what you wanted, Councilmember Seveda? Okay, so let's just put this one to bed at the moment. We're not voting, we're just kind of agreeing. And then let's go back to the beginning, which was the Arts Commission. Councilmember?
We still have the ethics board.
Oh, there's a one on the back end of here. Oh, sorry. Goodness, Ethics Board, Christine Gray. We have 3 people here. Christine Gray is first. Hi, Christine.
Good
Good evening, council. Thank you for having me.
Go ahead and just tell us about yourself. Thanks.
I want to start by saying that I have been a resident of the city of Federal Way for about 20 years now. I moved here from Arizona. I'm the daughter of a former highway patrolman and deputy director of the DPS who was raised with strong ethics and morals, which gives me a great insight to ethics. My stepmother was a paralegal for a federal firm, which is why I went into the legal field. Became a paralegal myself after becoming a single mom. I worked full-time, single mom, bought my own house, put myself through school with a criminal justice degree and a paralegal degree. And doing so, I bought my own home with my children and worked doing so, and ended up getting a job with the King County Prosecutor's Office, and recently stopped working at the Washington State Patrol. And all of those require having a high value of ethics. And I know that I could bring a lot to the board. It requires a lot of studying of laws and bylaws, and knowing that I can do that, and I still do it. To this day, I still kind of file pleadings and for different issues. And so I know that the recent issue right here, I was thinking in my head, oh, okay, well, this could be a conflict, or not. You guys can work that out. But I know in my own head, those wheels are turning for myself. So it would be an honor to be part of that, the ethics board on that, on the city. And I've raised two amazing boys with strong ethics and values, and I've seen a lot of changes, and ethics has kind of been a strong point with me in the city.
Well, thank you very much, Christine. Council, are there any questions for Christine for the Ethics Board? This is a commission that only meets when we need it, so it doesn't have regular meetings. All right. Well, that was quick.
Wow. I was ready for what you had to ask me.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you. Thank you very much, Christine. Okay, now is John Cameron here?
Good evening, Council President, City Council. My name is John Cameron, and I am an applicant for the Ethics Board. A little bit about me. I was born and raised in southwestern Montana, Butte, Montana, to be specific. If anybody's heard of it, we're a little bit proud of that. I was in the Navy. I was a deputy sheriff for 5.5 years in southwest Montana, where I was also a special deputy United States Marshal for a couple of years on the Blackfeet Safe Trails Drug Task Force. Prior to that, I was in the United States Navy. I was an operations specialist who specialized in kind of radar technology or newfound radar technology. I was one of the key members of Operation Cornerstone, which was a way for us to hide aircraft carriers from satellites using radar technology. It's a really, really interesting program. Going back to my time as a deputy sheriff, I spent a lot of time working internal affairs at my department. We had a lot of issues in a couple of our departments with kind of intra-family things and a lot of ethical issues because of the three still, for some reason, warring Native American tribes that live right next to each other. So I spent a lot of time on ethical investigations, including arresting other deputy sheriffs, arresting the undersheriff, and arresting the sheriff. And the sheriff was eventually convicted and is now a convicted federal felon from one of our investigations. In Montana, yes.
In Butte. What on earth did he do?
That was not in Butte. That was in my first department I worked for in Glacier County.
Oh.
He was a farmer who was lying to the federal government about his cattle losses throughout the winter and taking about $250,000 of federal funds a year over the course of 10 years. Even funnier about that whole situation is he was reelected after he was convicted. So he was the only sheriff in the United States who could not possess a firearm. But he was wildly popular, so he kept getting elected until he retired. I currently work at Alaska Airlines. I'm a safety and quality assurance auditor at Alaska Airlines. So the door incident was very much in my wheelhouse. We focus working with Boeing a lot to make sure everything is up to speed the way it needs to be. You guys are rock stars no matter what the news says. Thank you for everything. And I'm married to a Councilman Tran, you might like this. I'm married to a 777 pilot, so I like the 777 no matter how much you like the 787. So I've heard it's the workhorse and it's very trustworthy, so I'll trust the pilot, and I'm going to go with the 777. But yeah, I've lived in Federal Way now for 5.5 years. We came here from San Diego once I got out of the Navy. We looked around quite a bit on where we wanted to be. I have an aunt that is a real estate broker up in Camano, so we came over here to be near some family. And I knew I didn't want to go back to Montana because it's too cold. And when we came over here, we were looking around and we found Federal Way, and we found home, and we're going to stay here. So that's my background.
Well, thank you.
Any questions?
Was your 777 pilot a Navy?
No, it was all university taught schooling, and then went to fly for SkyWest Airlines. Way in my past, I worked at SkyWest Airlines too when I was younger.
That was
but
Hughes Air West, right? SkyWest?
SkyWest, yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I worked at SkyWest in Butte, Montana, because that's the only airline that flew in and out of Butte in
The
like
only
this
one that
little
would go
50-seater
there.
puddle jumper.
Yeah.
And funny enough that down the line, my spouse also ended up flying that same exact plane in and out of my hometown later, years later, so it's kind of a full circle moment.
Councilmember Dovey.
I just have one question. You just told us about an interesting story as an officer.
Yes.
But you don't have that on your resume. Did you just forget to put that years in here, or?
So it asked for, I believe, 10 years.
I don't know. I just.
Yeah,
I saw,
it
I'm
was-
looking at this and going through there, and there's that doesn't show in there, so I was
Yep, it's a
curious.
little older than 10 years that was initially requested, so it's just below the 10-year mark. I went Glacier County Sheriff's Office for 5 years, and then the Missoula County Sheriff's Office for year and a half to 2 years after that, and that's when the Navy finally called with my dream job, and I left to go.
Gotcha. So you were there before the Navy.
Yeah, I joined the Navy late. I wanted to be an air traffic controller really, really bad, and it took years, but they called me back.
Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Walsh.
You also have on here, be considered for appointment to not just Board of Ethics, but also Planning and Civil Service. Of
Yes.
these three different boards or commissions,
Yeah.
which is your preference? Where would you most like to be?
So ethics is where I want to be. When I spoke to I cannot remember her name, the lady in the mayor's office, the executive assistant to the mayor.
Pam?
She said, apply for anything you're really interested in, but what do you really want? I said ethics, and she said, that's great, apply for that, and then the civil service because of your law enforcement background, and then, pick three, but I really wanted ethics.
All right, thank you.
Well, hopefully if we don't, you may never see us, hopefully.
I hope I don't. That's kind of that's like the golden
There
idea,
we
right?
go.
Yeah.
Councilmember Honda.
Thank you. So thank you for your service.
Thank you.
In the Navy, and thank you for your service as a law enforcement officer. So we need more law enforcement officers all over the country, especially in Washington State. Is that something you would ever go back to?
That's an internal struggle with myself I've had for years, and I don't think so. There's a couple of reasons why. One is working for Alaska Airlines is nearly unbeatable. They're a fantastic company to work for. They've treated me well since day one. I have a lot of freedom in my schedule. I travel the entire Alaska Airlines system. We're expanding to really cool places that I get to go see for work now. And the financial side of it as well is helpful. But there's definitely still an itch in the back of my brain that can't quite give up on law enforcement, so it's always kind of there. But I don't plan on that. I think I've found my career. I think I've found where I'm going to stay. But I guess you never know my position could be eliminated, and if it was, the first place I would go is probably the Federal Way Police Department or somewhere in the area. In fact, one of my coworkers, last day is Friday, and he's going to the Auburn Police Department, so it's kind of a theme, I guess, as of late.
Well, thank you very much, and it's nice meeting you. And welcome to Federal Way. I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll keep you one way or the other.
Hopefully.
I was going to suggest too, if you get tired of not being called, hopefully, because they only get called if we've got a problem, you might want to just let Pam know that you're available for one of the other commissions if you're interested in planning
Absolutely.
or whatever.
I want to serve Federal Way, my community, so.
Yeah. Yeah, if you find yourself not getting called and it's months are dragging into, yeah, come on down and.
Sounds good.
All right, well, as we discussed before, we'll talk about this. Oh, I'm sorry, Councilmember Trent.
That's okay. Okay, just quick. First of all, thank you for your service.
Thank you.
And thank you for sharing with me about the 777.
Yeah.
In fact, tomorrow, I'm going to fly from here to Taipei with the 777. So.
Oh, you're flying EVA.
EVA, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
That's a good, have you ever flown EVA?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
They're good.
And I fly both. I mean, I both the Dreamliner and the 777.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 777's where it's at, I'm just saying.
Is that even the one that goes at 2:30 in the morning that makes all the noise?
Yeah.
There's a couple of them, yeah. Usually me wishing I was on it.
Okay, well, thank you very much, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we have one last person to talk to, and that's Doug Stinsby.
I'm Doug Stensby. I'm applying to serve on the Ethics Board. I was raised in the area here. My dad was a mechanic for Western Airlines, so the first plane that I remember flying on was the DC-6.
Whoa.
And there's actually a reason that I say that I was named after an airplane, but we can go into that another time. I've lived here in Federal Way for 20 years, and I have enjoyed my retirement immensely, which includes attending city council and school board meetings. And so I've been learning a lot. And certainly, I want you to know that I appreciate the work that you do. I've been watching you for 2 years now, and I am impressed. So thank you for that. I should say that my profession was a pastor, and I was a Lutheran pastor for 40 years. Over half of that time was a specific kind of ministry to go into a congregation for a very short term, right after their last and pastor had left, and things and sort of seem up in the air, and everyone's a little anxious and cranked up. So I've learned to come into situations and quickly read how the communities work and those things, and things that need to be done and things that don't. And I have found that was just incredibly fun. I enjoyed my work right up to the last day, and then when I retired, I enjoyed that too. And so I've been enjoying myself. Council member Honda, I am pleased to say that I recently was approved to read at Lake Grove School. So I'm looking forward to that. It should be fun. I will simply say that as I've thought about this, there are two lessons that I have learned in my professional life that I think would be helpful on the ethics board. The first is that there's always more than one side to a story. So we really need to take the time to listen carefully to make sure that we understand any kind of a situation before an advisory recommendation is made. The other thing is that there's an element of trust that needs to be maintained in any community if it is going to operate effectively. I see the ethics board not just as a matter of determining, has a line been crossed or something like that, but within the possibilities that are before us, it would be important to recognize which direction would provide for the most rebuilding of trust that is necessary, both in the council or between the council and some other an organization, and certainly between the community at large. So I think that the idea of maintaining the relationship is just as important as determining has a line been crossed in some way. So,
Thank you, Doug. Council, are there any questions? Councilmember Walsh.
Doug, I would just like to say thank you for your diligence. I mean, how many council meetings have there been when the only people at 10 o'clock at night that are left here are us on the dais,
And you.
the staff, and Doug? And so, I mean, that is commitment and dedication. Thank you.
I want to make sure I get my money's worth, so that's why I come.
Well, thank you. And as you've heard, we'll talk about this a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Could you pull that up a little bit? Because
What can't you see on it?
that's better.
Okay.
Thank you.
Because I've been told I have to have it down so people can hear me. I also want to thank you for staying here for the length of our meetings and listening to us. And I always appreciate your calmness, and I watch your face sometimes, and you always stay pretty. I mean, you can't really tell what's going on in there, but, and that's good. So thank you so much for your support of the council. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Doug.
Thank you.
All right, so council, shall we start from the top, or should we start from where we just left off? What would you like? Let's just start from the top. All right, Arts Commission.
I would like to see Karen reappointed.
Can I?
Go ahead, Councilmember Stephenson.
Yes, so I've heard a few things that were not comfortable for me. Can we make it conditional, and instead of the 4-year term, can we make it maybe a 1 or 2-year term and then revisit again? Because I still want to support people who were, who had a conflict with Karen. But at the same time, yes, Karen's been very valuable on the Arts Commission, and I really appreciate all the work that you do. So just make it maybe a shorter term, and then see how that goes. That would be my recommendation.
So we could make it from January 1st, 2026. Your recommendation is to go to December 31st, 2026 or 2027?
27.
Well, 2026 would be 1 full year.
Yeah.
Okay, to
That would be my.
December 31st, 2026. Okay, Councilmember Dovey.
Yeah, I would recommend I mean, Karen's done an amazing amount of work. I mean, there's always going to be conflict, whatever, but we're not here. There's always two sides of the story, as we heard from Doug and when he was talking about ethics. I do appreciate what Lydia talks about, maybe having a one-year term and then go through the process to, I won't be here, you will all have to make that decision, but I would be willing to go for 1 year and then the council reevaluate it. It puts everybody in a place where they can work together. And anyway, that was my comment.
Thank you. Anybody else?
I would say that in talking to the arts commissioners, they work with her and they want her reappointed. So if a year is what you guys will agree to, that's fine, but it's not the art commissioners that are not working well
Thank you.
together.
Okay, anybody else?
Can,
Councilmember Walsh, you have any?
Yeah, I mean, if the consensus that she should be reappointed, I definitely say 1 year would be
Okay.
the appropriate thing.
Thank you. Fran, do you have anything to say?
I can go along with the recommendation from
Okay.
Lydia and Dovey, because in my opinion, staff are the most valuable resources that we have. And we have got to figure out, how to work with them to make things happen for the city. So if there's any conflicts or issue between the commissioner and staff, that got to be resolved. So I'm fine of moving along with 1 year, because I know that Karen had done a good job for the commission as well. Yeah.
Good, thank you. Councilmember Moore.
Thank you, Council President, Coach Mar. The only thing I would, that comes to my mind is consistency. Is this the practice that we've had in previous years when situations like this have arisen? And if this is the process, then I want to be consistent and stick with it. If not, then that would be kind of something for us to kind of contemplate. But I will also say that I have had many conversations, who hasn't, but I have had many conversations with Karen Brigado, and she has heart, she has love, she has care for our community, and she's passionate, and she's on fire with our community, And I would also say that obviously there's concerns that have been brought up. I've done my due diligence, like we all have, it sounds like. And I do have concerns as well, but when you talk to the commissioners that are currently serving, you're starting to hear something very consistent, and that's that they want to see her back. And I certainly don't want to take that away. And plus, you have a person who just loves to serve, and that's something that you don't find in everybody. So I just want to make sure that we.
Thank you.
Oh, if I can just finish my sentence. You don't find that in everybody. So that's the only thing I would add. Thank you.
I appreciate that. It's just that it's 6:18, so I'm getting nervous. You're doing fine. Okay. So thank you. It sounds like the consensus is probably to move forward with 12/31/2026. Thank you, Heather. Okay,
Is the consensus 1 year?
1 year.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, to 12/31/2026. Yes, sir. All right, so now we have the Human Services Commission. We have Human Services.
Yeah. With that, I would suggest that Harold Booker be appointed to, let's see, actually.
Position 9.
Position 9 is the longest running one. And then Nathan North to position 5 would be my suggestion.
Okay, anyone else?
I agree with that.
Anyone else? You okay, Lydia? Anybody else? Okay, so we're going to have Nathan at position 5 and Harold at position 9. Correct? Correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you very much. All right. Now,
We've already done lodging tax, right?
yeah,
We're
lodging's
done.
get done. Thank God for that. So, ethics.
Council President,
Yes, sir.
Honda, Coach Smart. I will, I'd like to see, John, Cameron, position, number 3. And I'd like to see Christine in position number 1.
All right, and I was wondering, go ahead, Councilmember Walsh.
Yeah, I'd say that this is, I mean, we have 3 very qualified people for 2 positions. And I think that it would be a mistake. I mean, Doug has shown his diligence, his commitment to the community, and I think it would be a mistake not to appoint him to one of the positions.
I would agree with that.
And so with that, I mean, basically, it leaves, 2 very qualified candidates to fill the other position.
Would you consider putting Doug as alternate number 2?
But is there
There
a,
isn't
hold
one,
on,
but you
hold
can
on.
create it.
Can we add another alternate position?
There isn't, but
Well, I'm asking city attorney.
We've done that before. So if council wants to do that, yes.
Then
It's
in,
not in the rules, but it's also not prohibited by the rules.
in that case, I would suggest Doug as in the, hold on, let me get to that page.
Position number 2? 3?
Yeah, I would suggest Doug to position number 3. And,
See,
position number 3, and, okay, and John, alternate number 1, and create an alternate number 2, and have Christine as alternate number 2.
Councilmember.
When does that expire?
We would need to determine that.
Can I just add a note to Councilmember Walsh? I just feel like John has the experience and should be on number 3. And it's a lot more relevant and comprehensive, and should be in that position. Others have talent and others have gifts, but I don't know. When I'm listening and reading the packet to John, I think he has extensive, relevant experience, and really should be considered for number 3.
Martin, could you repeat what you're proposing?
So I would propose, thank you, Councilor Dovey, I would propose that John Cameron be in position 3, and then the others can be in the other positions.
Okay. I would just comment, I kind of go with what Mr. Walsh has said. Doug has been here coming to meetings for 2 years straight. He has great background in what he's done in his career. He's a known person, a quantity. The other 2 are good, and I would vote for them to be alternate. But I would just reverse it. I would make Doug the voting member first, and then go the other 2.
Yeah.
I would agree with that.
I mean, I think experience matters, relevant experience matters. I mean, yes, Doug has been involved in the community, that's nice, but I think we're also looking at career-wise, and can that be relevant to an ethics position? I think John has that.
I think that as a pastor, I think that there's definitely that shows experience with ethics as well. If it wasn't for Doug, I'd say that, hey, John in position 3 all the way, but I think that Doug's experience shows it, and his commitment proves it. So.
My only comment to that, Councilmember Walsh, is there's a difference between faith and religious, and there's a difference of government and ethics. And we're talking about government and ethics, and I think John has that.
Yeah, no, I think both involve ethics. So.
Okay, let's hear from, can we hear from anybody else? Sefa Dawson, do you have anything to say? Do you have any preference?
I really don't.
You don't. Councilmember Honda, do you have a preference?
Yes, I've already stated I support what the Jacks have
Okay, thank you.
proposed.
And Councilmember Tran, do you have a preference? Okay, well, I'll go with Councilmember Dovey, Councilmember Walsh, and Councilmember Honda, and Lydia, who's good with anything at the moment. And I can certainly understand what you say, Councilmember Moore. John was very, very impressive. All right, so we have 2 new alternates, and are y'all okay if we just make both alternate positions as the 06/30/2027? So that would make Doug position 3, 6/30/2028, John 6/30/2027, and Christine 6/30/2027, alternate number 2. Good? Good? Okay. I think we've just made it. Thank you very much, with probably 2 minutes to spare. So thank you. We are adjourned until the next regular meeting in 5 minutes. Thank you.